Hey babes, let's get ready together again today. And I thought since it's really hot today and yes, no clouds and over 30 degrees Celsius, I'm riding my bike and I don't think there's much use to test out the hourglass concealer in my inner corners because on a very normal mild weather day, just running errands, walking, no heat, no sweat, it broke down terribly. So of course I put more of it onto my lids and down here, but still it was a very messy, non-long wearing situation. So it's something I usually did. My favorite step was using this eyeshadow palette. Again, so here's the drugstore topic again. I have a lot of eyeshadow and everything besides the Louis Vuitton one. I know most formulas, especially luxury formulas, but this is my absolute favorite eyeshadow item in my whole collection. Now, sadly, they discontinued it. So I think what they came up with after is quite similar and comparable. So they didn't leave us hanging there. And I will touch on that a new one, but since there are still some chances to get your hands on this, let's just discuss that real quick for today. You would not find it individually. It's the 5 in a box mini eyeshadow palette by Catrice, and specifically Golden Nude Look 010 is my fave. I have one backup of it. And since I've discovered a last chance to grab it, now here's the thing, they only offer it in a Catrice set. I will write down in the info box what it's called. So basically this whole box thing is just 20 bucks as well. Given this one retailed at maybe €5 or something like that back in the day, which is still the same price for the new one. So by the way, here we do not have such insane raises of prices. However, yes, so this is still available in a box, and but it comes with so many other items that I'm not actually interested in. And I also, I know I will use this one up and the backup of it specifically, it's these two shades, which is my basic, ultra basic, everyday, reliable thing to brighten up my inner corners and to line my eyes with. And this is just, it's such a perfect, well pigmented, neutral shade to line your eyes with. I will say, yesterday I showed you the Clinique quick liner eyeliners, and those are amazing neutrals as well. I do prefer this shade to the alternatives they came up with now in these 6-pan treasure, tiny treasures, whatever it's called. What's the word? Successor for this product. It's so basic and boring. Of course it is. But I love this guy, and even this is what this is also what I grab for a special occasion. For summertime, you go to the opera, you can do a super cute Dolce Vita-esque, if you will, look with this gold, and it's just a good one. And if you don't have it, I highly recommend getting it in that set. it's unfortunate if there are things that you would just want to throw out. This is something that just bothers me. Since it's drugstore and everything is quite cheap, it's hard to pass it on. And also there, there are bigger eyelashes in there and stuff like that. And it just hurts my heart to, if I got it, just to throw out the rest of it, or just for it to sit in my drawers, what for, and not to find someone who likes to use it. It's the principle of it that just it hurts my heart. That's just the way it is. I know many people are cutthroat. They wouldn't care. And why would there, you might say? I think there's just as much reason behind that mindset of what about it, just dump it. So I know where they're coming from. I cannot judge it. And I also must admit my mindset here has many downsides where you struggle to throw things out, and it's coming from this place of you cannot waste anything. And well, both is justified, right? But today I will not use this one. I will use the Hourglass Minimalist, just because I thought, I haven't worn it here on my channel yet. And also I would like to know, I know I like the formula, and I would just like to see how I feel about it today, because it's a lighter shade than in the other palettes. The Idealist and the Realist, those two I really, really like. The Minimalist was a bit underwhelming, but I have not really worn it, and I got it at a time in winter when I did not even really want to wear a lot of powder eyeshadows. So, oh, and the longest time I did not allow myself to get it because it's so similar to the Sophisticate by Charlotte Tilbury. But eventually I could not resist. Even though they are even very comparable in that they are both very nice, lightweight, sleek quartz, no fuss, just elegant but simple, and I really like that. Please excuse me. I forgot to shave today when I showered because I was interrupted, and I'm really easily distracted if you have not noticed yet. But also let me finish up my complexion first with this Sun-Kissed Powder by Chanel. This is the medium rose gold. The warm ones, these coral ones, they came with warmer bronzers as well. So this is just better for my complexion. Besides, I don't know how well you could tell here in this lighting, but right now, since I'm a bit unprepared for summer, my body is quite yellow pale right now, while my face is so freaking red in contrast. Today I'm really struggling to put anything on my face, since it almost looks ridiculously red in contrast. I'm pretty sure it's because I went skiing without any sun protection my whole life. So that's why my face is so dark and red. But frankly, I think I really need to use some self-tanner to adapt this level of a much darker face, because how much could I bronze down my neck, right? It's yeah. So, and unfortunately this brush is not available anymore. It was by Notino, and I really like it. It's a fluffy but with some density to it, and the shape of course is perfect for this one. So let me just run it in the middle like this, and use some here. Oh, before I forget, I really wanted to also share with you, because I've noticed during winter I get super lazy. Also, of course, you don't sweat as much, so you forget that I kind of neglected my pores, and I've never used during winter any pore minimizing and salicylic acid BHA masks so far, but it's, oh boy, it's overdue. It's so overdue. And yeah, I really need to do that. I always, oops, that was too much on the nose. I have to adapt it here. I always do it on days when I wash my hair. I don't wash it every day, so yeah, I mean, at least once a week I need that for my larger pores. My skin looks really bad right now because I haven't done it. Oh, before I forget to show you, so these are my favorites. This is the Periconium Deep Blemish Relief Calming and Soothing Clay Mask. So this has great ingredients, but it's not as aggressive as, so this one I use here where I have perioral dermatitis, but of course it's still part of my T-zone, and I do get congested skin here. And the other one is by The Ordinary. It's called the Salicylic Acid 2% Mask. And that one I apply, well, here my skin is quite clear and finer. But the black one I apply on the forehead, on my nose, and here is also a area where I would get more, and the rest, of course. Here is more, so I get this little, I expand the black mask, the more aggressive one here, like a little panda, so I look like a raccoon when I do this. And yeah, for maybe 15 minutes before I take a shower, and then I just take it off under the shower, in the shower. Oof, now I over bronzed on top. Let me add some of the pink here. Oh, Mary Beth complimented my application, and now I'm so rough and careless, but yeah, I have to get going too. And you know what? This is no, I see the pan. This is a pressed one. I thought these were baked chilies. No, they're pressed. But they are so, they feel and apply and look so similar to baked gelée formulas, thin, a bit transparent skin-like, and not dry at all. It's a really nice formula, and this is the luminosity that I want, because yesterday I watched again some highlighter comparisons. Great channel swatches, comparisons. But I have to, you probably know my videos about the new Givenchy highlighter or the Prada highlighter, which you can see the particles, you can see the shimmer, you put it on and it looks like makeup, and that's completely fine. And I'm pretty sure I will have a moment when I would enjoy them more. But right now I'm really into a more natural skin-like luminosity without the shimmers, without looking too makeup-y. And so yeah, it's not just a very natural luminosity in my book. It just isn't. But the tolerance for that, of course, is highly individual. And at the end of the day, those are still good highlighters, as good as they can get as a powder. Well, no, that's not a good comparison, because even, you know, the She's Blushing blush by Patrick Ta that I put on yesterday, even that one is a satin finish, and it just has this luminous matte, well, a satin finish, but one without any shimmers. And that's not a given quality, because you get a satin finish blush by Dior, you know, the regular pressed powder ones, and those are full of shimmers and not as refined and nice as the Patrick Ta one, and you would not expect it because Dior is so heavily hyped up, right? But that's just how it is. Okay, more bronzer here. Well, let's move on to the eyeshadow. Oh, one other thing I want to share with you. Hold on. Oop. So I know this is mean for everybody who has not access to DM drugstore in Austria, in Germany, in Switzerland probably too. I haven't seen one. However, I'm sure there are alternatives with some kind of matcha drinks, or matcha itself. You know, usually my breakfast, I'm not a breakfast person. I know that's not healthy, but that's just how I function best. What can I say? I'm grumpy. I need a minute in the morning. Just give me something liquid to wake up and come into my own. And since when it's so hot, because our bedrooms are towards the eastern direction, so during the summer I wake up grilled in my bed in the hot sun, which I do like it, because you know, it wakes you up and you find happiness right away, compared to the doom of darkness during the winter time. But I do, when I feel very hot waking up, I'm not too much into getting a cup of coffee. You know, during the winter, I drink my coffee a bit more oomph, with 2 or 3 spoonsful of cocoa mixed into it. And now that just feels a bit too sweet, too heavy, too I don't know how to describe it, acidic even. So this one, the protein matcha, it's right now, it's limited edition. I really hope they make it permanent. I think I have 1 or 2 more. And I also, you know, I don't want to bulk up with 10 of these. I might get tired and sick of it, and but right now I really like it, and it's so refreshing and nice, and it tastes and feels better for a very hot morning. I did not see this coming either, because you know, people would rave about the matcha ritual and how it feels lighter and healthier than coffee, and I'm not too much into that ultra conscious. I'm conscious about food and your nutrition. I am. So I apply the rules. Well, did you have enough vegetables today? Did you have some vitamins, some fruit? Did you have you know, full grain, how do you say, fibers for a healthy congestion, and so on and so forth. I'm into it. So, but not in a, when it feels too mainstream stylish, I feel a bit opposed to it, which is childish, yes. But you know, here I just thought I would try it because when I work out, I do like a protein shake afterwards to, you know, get stronger, so that the exercise pays off. Oh, by the way, so last summer we played tennis like crazy, and so, but actual exercise for my aging behind, I haven't I haven't done for actually 2 years straight. Last year, not once, not once I did any butt exercise last year. And one part of me is getting tired and feels like, well, we're through with it, so why bother? But also I start to notice that it does not look very fashionable, and there are just dresses where I cannot have this super flat saggy butt, right? So now finally I feel some motivation again to get back on that and, you know, do my little exercise every other day, which is just, it's only 10 minutes, and it's not that great of a deal really, and it still is very effective. So I shall do that again. So that was the reason I like to have some protein shakes. I didn't get it to have matcha in the morning, and then I figured out I really like it in the morning. And of course, this would not be the perfect healthy matcha ritual for your morning, but this is the trashy cheap version that I can endure when I'm sleeping. You know, I I'm sorry, that's just how I am. I throw it in, I shake it up, and that's good. And don't give me that special Japanese broom coming with it. I just don't have that level of perfection in me. I don't. I try to bring it up over the course of a day to be a better person, but give me that minute in the morning to be my grumpy self. And this one I can do. What can I say? So yeah, this is a great favorite. And now let's move on to the eyeshadow. All right, and see, I'm sorry. And see, this is what I mean. These two are from a Catrice brush set. Let me hold up the rest of them. I'm not sure right now what's the fifth piece in there. I think it's an eyeliner brush. I'm not sure. But these are 4 or 5 pieces in this Catrice, I think it's called professional brush set. And so this is what they look like. They are super soft and fluffy. And I think now that Hourglass also came up with a gold version of the signature metallic brown, which I really love that. I think that it's really tastefully done. It's beautiful. I'm into it. It's overpriced, of course, because it's also made in China. And the way this is made, the quality of it, the way this feels and looks, it's so darn similar to the Hourglass range. Of course, you have a couple of different shapes. So this is for me a reason why both of these collection come in handy. And if you're on a budget, of course, this is even more fun to not break the bank for it. These are amazing. I love all of these, and they are really staples in my routines. So let's get going. You know, when you like something so much and it's quite affordable, you also tend to, every time I see it shopping, I just want more of it. I got 2 sets of these, and that's really absolutely enough, and already kind of silly, while a backup, I mean a backup is justifiable, right? So let us start. Oh, and by the way, so far my base is only the pink Elf Grip Primer and the Charlotte Tilbury foundation. And I also wanted to add about the this NYX Serum Concealer. When I told you that this was the absolute savior to still look appropriate even on horrible skin that would scream with more texture and a cakey base, this was just the only choice I had when my skin was really acting up and ugly. But I would still absolutely prefer the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation over it, because when my skin is normal, it's just the prettier, a bit slightly more luminous option for me. So it is the prettier finish, of course, with more coverage. The other one, the NYX concealer thing, it will take away from that healthy, natural looking skin effect that the Charlotte Tilbury one truly has. Wait, there is dark eyeshadow in there. So let's try. Try it in the inner corners where I think this has just a little bit, well, I know from the other quads, or no, I think I compared exactly this shade from this quad last time. It's a nice blurring matte with enough pigment to it, but it's just a little bit less than in this little Catrice Quint. So that one is still better than this option. Same goes for example, Makeup by Mario, that palette. That one, the way it goes on is actually feels quite similar to this one. Blurring, beautiful, but slightly less pigment than in the Catrice. That would just be, of course, then a bit more brightening for my inner corners here. So maybe here a bit for more brightness. Oh, can you hear the birds? A blackbird was really upset for a long time. I looked out the window because I was scared that it was bothered by a cat or something. But yeah. What else is there to say? Oh yeah. So what do I want to do? Yeah, let's just try with the bigger fluffy brush here, the neutral shade, this one. So today it's actually the very first time that my son goes swimming all by himself and with some friends, without parental annoyance. It's just time for that. I remember last summer he's friends with a girl in the neighborhood, and I I said to her that, well, they're not there. Last summer he was 13 and a half and she was 12 and a half. And I said to him, well, they are ready to go on their own, don't you think? He goes, no. But it's absolutely time for that. Long overdue. And I'm still a bit anxious and excited for him to come back tonight and tell me how his day was and so on. So what else would we like to do? What do you think? Here I actually have a better idea of the look of it. Let's use this reddish or brownish red rather to smoke it up a bit. Let's do something very... Do I want to leave the lid space like that or bring it together here? Hmm. No, I don't like that. I will do the same thing on the other eye, and then I have to look into the mirror real quick to get a better idea of what I'm doing here. Of course, I'm holding the small mirror, but seeing my whole face, it's a tiny mirror. Also, remember how pale my body is here, so the contrast and the color impact in my face would go overboard. I'm sorry that I have this annoying hairdo again. It's probably... It's really hot and I don't want to waste another hour that it takes me to do a proper hairdo. Let's do that for another day, not today. So here, the darkest shade, what is this? It's a neutral charcoal brown. Maybe that's an appropriate description. Yeah, let's do it a bit smokier here. And again, this is just, it's a thinner formula, and I think the Catrice Quint has rose oil in it, and it just all has a bit more grip and intensity. It just plays out better. Also, when I went in with a eyeliner to do a proper line and wing or something like that, I can do it with the Catrice. This one diffuses much more. Do you remember, if you are a long-time subscriber, you would know how frustrated I was with this Natasha Denona palette, where it just is very hard to really structure something more pigmented like an eyeliner. When you're used to something that just, these shadows, Makeup by Mario, Natasha Denona,